This is a new phone. It's not supposed to be exactly like their last thing, even though it was great. It was definitely great.
Change. Everybody changes. That's all a part of growing up. As long as when you change for the better, I really don't think nobody could be mad at you. At least, I ain't mad at you. You know what's up? Hey, I ain't mad at you.
It's the final moment. Change has come to America.
There it is.
I ain't mad at you.
Resident, so we rock.
So it's been about 7 days since I've got my brand new iPhone 10. And I gotta say,
I like it a lot.
obviously you guys know that there's no home button. It uses Face ID, but honestly, I'm not here to really get into the main details or things that you already know about this phone. I'm sure you've heard enough of just those types of reviews. I just wanted to talk about my main issues with it because I do have just a few, not a whole lot, but just a few. It started out being an issue for me for the first couple of days with the fact of the size. Now, I don't know if I just heard incorrectly or was just not paying close enough attention. But when I first heard that, okay, the screen's gonna be bigger, I thought it was gonna be very much just like the Plus, where it's, you know, pretty wide of a screen. Well, it's absolutely not that at all.
Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so.
In fact, I can very well fit my little iPhone 10 inside my iPhone 7, which is what I'm upgrading from. And for me, that's been a really serious issue just because I'm used to having a really big phone. I've had the big phone since the iPhone 6 Plus, and since then I've just been kind of rolling with that, and I've loved it. And the idea of changing it has just kind of really been really tough for me. So it's kind of been a really tough 7 days as I kind of decide what am I going to really do about this. Aside from that, I have spent a lot of time playing with it, utilizing the camera features, which I think are really, really fantastic. The portrait mode that you can now do from the front-facing camera is really, really great. I feel like this new 10 would be perfect for me. I mean, perfection to me. If it was just the size of my Plus. I don't want to go back down to a smaller phone. Oh my god. But I was talking to one of my friends recently who just got this iPhone 10 as well, and we kind of talked about what actually having a iPhone 10 really means. Now guys, if you're an Apple fan or you've had an iPhone for a while like I have, I've had an iPhone since the iPhone 4, and if you're like any of us, we know that, you know, the iPhones have pretty much been very much the same in a lot of ways since then, especially coming from, you know, having the 6 Pluses and all that. Like, everything has kind of been the same. Now, the interesting thing is, when I think about this new phone, is that a lot of people have been complaining and saying, you know, hey, Apple, you've been doing the same thing. But this right here, this device here, is actually really very much an answer to the things that we've all wanted. And so, kind of the realization that I've come to over the past week is just that this new iPhone, though it's not as big as my 7 Plus or anyone's 6 or 8 Plus, this is definitely a step into the future. And it's a good step. I've played with it for the week with no home button and all that. I know a lot of people have been kind of freaking out about the fact that there's no home button, but honestly, I personally don't miss it. Unlocking my phone now feels more like a smooth, just effortless gesture, which I think was Apple's intention. I think a lot of people were kind of freaked out at one point about not actually having Touch ID. But honestly, I think this solution that they've come up with, I'm actually very, very pleased with it. What I will say has been sort of weird is that it's a little bit more difficult to get to the control center as well as like the notifications, as now we have to kind of access that from the top, which is a little tough to kind of do with one hand. Aside from that though, honestly, I mean, I've played a little music on this thing. I have watched some YouTube videos on this thing. This thing is pretty solid. Every video on YouTube does not play full screen. The way it does it, especially when it comes to like YouTube videos, is it crops it a little bit, which in some cases is okay. However, in some of my videos I put like text at the bottom, so that's in those cases the text at the bottom will be cut off. And for those videos that don't allow you to expand it out, you can view it in just like a regular view, just like you would normally view it in any regular phone where there's like black edges. Now I'm not a big fan of that. I actually was getting this phone with the expectation that it would take up the whole screen, period, and I was thinking it was going to be wider, but I'm not going to continue to talk shit. I just say all that to say that it was seriously a battle to decide whether or not I wanted to keep this phone and not just keep my 7, or at least trade this 7 Plus in to get the 8 Plus. I will say it's definitely been a serious thought and consideration for me this week. For the first couple of days, and I think I even tweeted it, I was seriously thinking about getting rid of it and sending it back. Like this, I just was not really in love with it, and I really wasn't that happy with it, honestly. I really wasn't. But I think the thing that really helped change my mind is just the idea that this is not supposed to be the phone that I had before. This is supposed to be different. This is supposed to be a different look into the future. And in the spirit of change and just kind of moving forward to the future, I've actually made a decision that I'm gonna go ahead and just keep this phone. This feels a little weird because I'm changing. It's different. This is a completely different experience. Going from this big, kind of brick phone to the smaller phone. But I think the features and the things that I get overall, the awesome camera, knowing how responsive Face ID is, it makes sense for me to go ahead and keep it because I think this is definitely a future. I think Apple's been making really strong strides to kind of push us there, and I'm down to go through the future. I really don't want to be left behind, and I'm sure you guys don't either, which is why you're probably clicked on this video and why you're probably interested in knowing more about this baby right here. No matter what you decide to do, whether you decide to keep your phone that you have, whether it's a 7 Plus or whatever, or not get the 10 but get the 8 or 8 Plus, no matter what you choose, it's cool. I totally understand why you would want to do it. I totally understand why you won't. I've spent the last 7 days in the same exact place that you guys are, so I totally understand how you feel. So no matter what you decide to do, I ain't mad at you. It's not an easy decision, and change is a little bit difficult. I'm gonna do it, but you're totally okay not to. I think the 8 and the 8 Plus has a lot of great features that are very much similar to the iPhone 10. And I also know for some people, price is an issue. I don't like to always think of price as a deciding factor for me personally. The product itself and how good the product is going to impact my life and my experience with it, I care more about that than price. But I do know that the iPhone 8 and the 8 Plus are definitely going to be lower price points. So if that's something that really is a huge thing that you just can't look past, I totally would recommend you going ahead and getting the 8 8 Plus, as the features, especially the camera and just the speed and the A11 chip, are all found there, as well as the wireless charging and all that. Oh god, I didn't mention the wireless charging. I think I'm gonna eventually get a wireless charging situation, but I think I'm gonna wait for the one that Apple comes out with where you can charge kind of anything. However, I only see myself as of now anyway having the iPhone on it, so I don't really know, because I know I have friends that have like the Apple Watch and all that. I don't know if I'm gonna get any of that at all, honestly. But yeah guys, no matter what you do, whether you decide to get the new iPhone 10, whether you keep your current phone, or whether you decide to go ahead and upgrade to the 8 or 8 Plus, do your thing. It is your decision. Nobody can make it for you. I'm just wanted to tell you about how my thoughts and my feelings about the iPhone 10 as I've been playing around with it for the past 7 days. So, and I just want to end this vlog by saying, no matter what you decide to do, it's your choice, and I ain't mad at you. And that's it. Smile today.
You know,